In the years when mankind achieved fascinating scientific discoveries, one group of scientists, secretly from the world community, began to develop the most daring project in history, a time machine. They conducted titanic experiments in an effort to bring to life the principles of time travel. After years of fierce efforts, the world's first time machine was finally born on a scientific station far from civilization. Its creators called it Chronogon. They tested it on a few unimportant subjects, but the moment came when the researchers decided to send themselves back in time. The crew consisted of 5 scientists, headed by Professor Leonid Tarasov, a genius of quantum physics and the developer of Chronogon. The professor announced a time travel mission 100 years into the past back in 1922. When the Chronogon launched, they felt a storm of forces tearing apart space and time. The world around them blurred and disappeared, as if through a veil. And suddenly everything started spinning, and they found themselves on familiar ground, but in a different era. Scientists found themselves in the noisy and dusty London of 1922. This world was completely different, but attractive in its atmosphere of mystery. They decided not to stand out and for the first time hid from the eyes of the townsfolk gathered on the streets. Professor Leonid Tarasov was struck by the living breath of the past. London, at the beginning of the XX century, turned out to be a real museum of living history for him. They wandered through the narrow streets, inhaling the atmosphere of the times that were already left behind. One day they heard about mysterious missing people in the city. The professor and his colleagues realized that this was the very mystery they needed to solve. They broke through the shackles of time to uncover the mystery and save innocent victims. In the course of their investigations, the scientists learned about the clandestine operations of carefully planned bandits. It turned out that there was a secret criminal group operating in the city, kidnapping people for their mysterious experiments. The group has made its mission come true to stop the villains and rescue the kidnapped. With the help of knowledge from the future and courage, they began to consistently uncover the plans of criminals, penetrated their hiding places, and went on the trail. One day, when scientists tracked down the location of the abducted, Professor Leonid Tarasov and his team made a decisive assault on the criminals' base. It was a fierce battle, but thanks to their determination and the union of the minds of the future and the past, they won. The rescued people were brought back to their time, and the villains paid for their atrocities. Scientists returned in 2022, but Professor Leonid Tarasov's heart remained in 1922. He realized that time not only opens doors to the past, but also teaches us to appreciate the present and the future. Thus ended one of the most exciting missions of the Chronogon, intertwined with time and adventure. Scientists have realized that every moment, be it past, present, or future, has its own value and lessons that we need to learn. Thanks to this amazing journey, they have become wiser, stronger, and ready for the new challenges of the time. As soon as Professor Tarasov and his colleagues returned to their time, they began in-depth research on the impact of time travel on the structure of reality. Their discoveries aroused wide interest in the scientific community, but scientists decided not to share all the information, fearing possible consequences. Professor Tarasov devoted the remaining years of his life to research in the field of time paradoxes and the possibilities of changing the past. Soon he published his monumental work, presenting a new theory about the structure of time and its potential for humanity. His research opened up new prospects for the development of science and technology, but Tarasov remained a modest and secretive scientist who did not seek fame or fortune. His main goal was to understand the nature of time and its impact on our world. In memory of their amazing adventures in the past, Professor Tarasov and his colleagues have preserved the Chronogon as a symbol of their desire to learn the secrets of time. Their story has remained mysterious and incomprehensible to most people, but those who believe in the possibility of time travel consider their feat great and inspiring.